Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing well. So without wasting any time, let's move to the newspaper. First we will identify the important news and then we'll move on to the analysis section. So this is April 29, 2022, The Hindu, Delhi edition, right? As usual, we'll be first identifying the most important news followed by a detailed discussion of the same, right? So let's begin. So 5G services rollout likely in August to September, okay. Keen on lifting AFSPA from Northeast, says Prime Minister Modi, okay fine. Okay, we'll be reading this one. This is not needed. Move to disallowed at Jamia Masjid decried. West Bengal officer seat to student back from offer seat to student back from Ukraine. Okay. To Al Badr not required, not required. BHU backs VC decision to attend iftar party. Okay. Okay, not required. Power supply hospital could be disrupted, not required. Nothing here. There is nothing out here. Okay. Demolition drive in Sahin Bagh, Sarita Bihar cancelled, not required, not required. Okay. Natural gas did not hike fuel tax. Okay, Arima become not President Mayawati. Okay. Kerala CS praises good, not required. Nay, court not required, not required. Nothing here on these pages. Okay, on the editorial revisiting death penalty jurisprudence, the top court may have looked at the core question of Bachchan Singh, the constitutional validity of death penalty. Look, per se, for knowledge purpose or for interview purpose, you can read this and you can make notes of it. But for mains and prelim purpose, I don't see this kind of question coming in mains. In mains, they ask the larger picture, not the smaller one, right? India could have wasted the evidence of benefit of vaccinating all children, not required. A midterm shellacking or more for Democrats, apart from the seat lose is not required. Myanmar was not required. Or freebie affecting economic growth in India. Maybe you can read it, but again, the thing is that they won't ask this question. Russia total with gas supplies. We'll read the gist here because this is a new emerging issue. Russia cuts off the gas supply to both Poland and Bulgaria, right? The demand for revenue share in privatized airport. We'll give a read to the gist here also. Killing the anti-heroine. Okay, not required. What is this? Dance Day, International Dance Day. Okay. India position on sanctions hasn't changed a bit, says MEA. Okay, we'll give it a read. Meritorious students can get general seat. They need not get OBC quota benefit. General category not required. Not nothing here. Nearby high level visits. Court reserves order on not required. It shows need of self-reliance. Yes, it is true. We need to be self-reliant now. BJP turned focus on MP Chhattisgarh. Okay, not required. Some state indulging in fuel tax hypocrisy, says Puri. Okay. We don't go to Prashant Kishore. He came to us. Okay, not required. Nath resigns as open. Not required. Not required. Is coercive, not cooperative. He keeps on saying anything and everything like that. Center's employment survey finds attention in 4 lakh. Okay, we have to read it. On the rise. Okay. Center is okay. Reinstate JNK IS officer Shah Fazal. He says here that his idealism let him down. Okay, prepare for swift conflict. IAF chief. Okay, fine. Now he has proposed a 33 billion aid for Ukraine and he will now make it a base for US in the vicinity of Russia. Global security initiatives look to counter quad grouping. Okay, just know this. There is a thing called global security initiative to counter quad grouping. We'll just give it. This is to oppose unilateralism, says no to group politics. Okay, means you are making a group and saying no to group politics. Oh my god. Russian planned referendum in seized Ukraine areas. US, yes, they will. Iran go on strike. New gang fighting. Haiti kills. Oh, no, nothing here. Antitrust regulator CCI set to raid 2 of Amazon top seller. No reporting of cyber breaches made mandatory for all firms. Okay, this is a good thing. Manesar unit hits at Haryana. Reels under power crisis. Coal demand. Okay, coal will be key energy source. And who is this? Michel Manu, CEO of World Coal Association. Obviously, we are producing more than 60-70% of our energy from coal. How do you expect us to be coal free by 2040? It is practically impossible. Omicron, trade weight on US economy in first quarter, no. ECGC to seek RBI not for payment in foreign export, no, not required. And then we have this page and the sports page. So as usual, we won't find many news here related to our examination. So with this, we end identifying the most important news, and let us go now directly to the analysis of the news. Okay. So this is our first news. 5G services rollout likely in August September. Plans afoot for spectrum auction in June. Okay, so spectrum auction is planned in June itself, means next month, next month. The government is confident on resolving issues related to high spectrum pricing with the industry, the telecom minister said on Thursday, adding that everything was more or less on track. The commercial rollout of 5G services could be expected from August September. Okay, the telecom TRI is in recommendation has suggested some changes in price. The next step is approval of DCC, Digital Communication Commission. They will take a call in next 5 to 6 days. As per process, a back reference goes to TRI. In parallel, we have to work out a notice inviting the tender. Okay, fine. So government is will likely to roll out 5G services in August September. So just know the basics of 5G, right, which involves bandwidth, speed, latency, technology required, etc. Right. Now let's see the next page. If anything else is left on this page, nothing is there, and we didn't had any news here. Okay. On editorial page, we don't have much news. Okay. And so was the condition of the next page. Now let's see the next page. Okay, text and context page we'll do at last, as usual. Now let us move to this news. India's position on sanctions hasn't changed a bit, says MEA. Ahead of PM European tour, Ministry asserts India's independent policy. While India is in touch with both Russia and Ukraine during the period and is ready to assist any way required, the government hasn't received any particular request from either side to carry a message or anything like that. Okay. India's position on sanctions against Russia has not changed one bit. The ministry made assertion while speaking about the likelihood of renewed request from European country to join the sanctions during Prime Minister Narendra Modi European tour next week. In his first foreign visit in 2022, Prime Minister will visit Germany and Denmark for the Nordic Summit and France from 2 to 4 May. He will meet the leaders of at least 7 European countries. And while topical issues like Ukraine would be discussed, the government expects to see more substantive bilateral subjects on the agenda. We have a new chancellor there. This will be the first interaction with him, MEA spokesperson said, adding that PM attendance at second Nordic Summit would give relations with Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway and Sweden a more structured format, and visit to France will make Mr. Modi one of the earliest foreign visits after President Macron re-election. Ahead of PM meet in Berlin, German ambassador said that strengthening ties between the democracies is important in time of turmoil and crisis, without referring directly to Ukraine conflict. MEA comments have come after a number of European countries have made it clear that they intend to keep pushing for India to shift its position. Okay. Foreign ministers of Luxembourg, Poland, Portugal and Poland have all expressed their hope that New Delhi would reconsider its refusal and all those things. In sharp response on Wednesday, Mr. Jaishankar said that India cannot be a pale imitation of others or does not need approval of others. To the question from the Hindu about whether India plans to play a mediatory role in the conflict during the briefing, okay, during the briefing on Thursday, the spokesperson said that while India is in touch with Russia and Ukraine and is ready to assist in any way required, the government hasn't received any particular request from either side. Okay, so this is the thing. We have not. We are standing firmly with our stance. Okay, let us give a read to this news also. Meritorious candidate get general quota, can get general seats. Okay, they need not get OBC quota benefit. The Supreme Court on Thursday said that other backward class candidates are required to adjust against the general category when they prove more meritorious than lots of general categories to category candidates appointed. The court said that in such circumstances, the appointment of OBC candidate could not have been considered against the seat available in reserve category. The top court said that consequently, after considering their appointments in general category, the seat meant for reserve category were required to be filled in from amongst the other remaining reserve category candidates on merit. Okay, a bench relied on various verdicts of top court including Indra Sawhney and popularly called the Mandal Commission. Okay, relying on the verdicts of the top court, accepted the argument of senior advocate Rajiv Dhawan, appearing the quota candidate that the reserve category candidate having obtained more marks than the last candidate in general category will have to be adjusted against the general category quota, and they were required to be considered in general category pool. Thereby, remaining candidate belonging to the reserve category were required to be appointed against the quota meant for the reserve category. The course said by insertion of two OBC candidate into general category, two general category candidates already appointed shall have to be expelled or shall have to be removed, and it may unsettle the entire selection process. Okay, so it is saying that, it is simply saying that if you obtain more marks than the last general category person, then you will be taken, you will be considered a general person and not a reserve person, right, for this matter. Okay, so let's see if anything else is required. There's nothing out here as well. Center Employment Survey find addition of 4 lakh jobs. Okay, Center Employment Survey finds addition of 4 lakh jobs. Okay, Union Minister says rising trend in employment in organized sector. Okay, over 4 lakh jobs are created in firms with 10 or more workers. Okay, the ministry's establishment based survey, which covered 10,834 units in third round, found employment has increased from 3.1 crore to 3.145 crores in next quarter. The survey covered the manufacturing, construction, trade, transport, etc. All those things. Fine, accounted for 85%. Okay, and what these things, these sectors, right? About 85% of the employment in unit of 10 or more workers. The manufacturing sector accounted for 39% of its unit, followed by education 22%, and all those things are there. Releasing, and you can give it a read. About 4% of the vacancy remain due to non-availability of requisite skilled worker. This is also a problem, that we don't have a proper skilled worker. Okay, rising trend in employment in organized sector. Okay, and it is expected also that in organized sector that the employment will rise. Okay, but the problem is majority of Indian population or Indian workforce is in unorganized sector, and that is where we need to create meaningful jobs. Okay, this is the main requirement. Fine, and let's see on this page what we have. I don't think we need to read this. If you think, you give it a read and tell me in the comment box if it is required to read or not. Okay, global security initiative to counter quad grouping. China is fearing quad grouping, right, and therefore it is always doing something or other thing against quad. Okay, once it called quad NATO of the East, right? So in this way it is trying to dislocate the quad from getting against it. Okay, reporting of cyber breaches made mandatory for all firms. Escalation must within 6 hours of detection, MITI says. The CERT-in has made mandatory for all service provider, intermediaries, data center provider, corporate as well as government generalization to report cyber incidents within 6 hours of their detection. To strengthen India's overall cyber security position in the country, Nodal Cyber Security Agency has also issued additional directions relating to synchronization of ICT system clocks, maintenance of logs, and all those things. Look, always try to understand the core of an issue. What is the core? To remove the cyber security threat, or to lessen the cyber security threat, what we are doing, it is made mandatory for all firms to report the detection or the matter of cyber security breaches within 6 hours, right? And this is a good thing. Okay, to coordinate responses actively and emergency matter with respect to cyber security incidents. Okay, certain calls for information from service provider, intermediaries, data center, and body corporates. Now, okay, during the course of handling cyber incidents, and certain has identified certain gaps causing hindrance in Indians analysis. Okay, any service provider, intermediary, data center, body corporate, and government organizations are mandatory report to cyber. Okay, these things are there. Fine. Now there was nothing else on this page as I remember. Okay, so let's see, there is nothing out here. On sports page we had nothing. So with this we come to end of the analysis of news. There was not much news today, right? And let us move directly to the analysis of editorial and text and context page. Okay, so let us read this editorial. Let's see what it has to say, because news are not much today, so but we must read something every day so that our knowledge gets enhanced. So let us read this. In haste, India could have waited for evidence of benefit of vaccinating all children. The EUA granted 2 COVID-19 vaccine Corbevax for children 5 to 11 years and Covaxin for children 6 to 11 years in one more incident where Indian drug regulator has acted in haste. Even if EUA granted to Covaxin in December 2021 despite no safety and efficacy data in phase 3 trial is condoned as a desperate measure in ensuring greater vaccine availability, the regulator clearly has no fig leaf to defend the green lighting of vaccines for children at this stage. Evidence from across the world after the deadly Delta variant and extremely transmissive Omicron variant has shown that unlike adults, children in general and little children in particular do not suffer from severe disease. Okay, ICMR 4 zero prevalence survey soon after the second wave peaked nationally found that 57.2% of children between 6 to 9 years and 61.6% of between 10 to 17 years were infected. Zero prevalence among the adults were 66.7%. Okay. The antibodies detected in children in mid of 2021 were only from infection by virus. The extremely infectious Omicron variant would have infected as even larger population of children. Yet the number of severe cases and deaths in children has been very low. Okay. So what does the article want to say? Okay. Unlike in January when appointing vaccine, clinical trials data of Corbevax in children were posted as a preprint, which is yet to be peer reviewed, and all those things are there. The health ministry has already said that okay, Corbevax for children without okay, I understand it now. It says that yesterday there was a news that now we get yesterday or day after and day before yesterday that we are getting two more vaccine. One is your Corbevax and other is your Covaxin, right? And these two vaccines for children, emergency use in children cases, right? So with respect to that, this article has come that the decision has been taken in haste, and India should have waited for more for at least results of phase 3. Okay. Now let's see the text and explain page. Russia brutal with gas supplies. Why is Gazprom cutting off its supply to two NATO countries? How has EU responded? EU would have obviously criticized, and EU has said that it is blackmailing. The Russian energy company has announced that it has completely suspended gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria due to their failure to pay in ruble. Poland, which gets 40% of its natural gas from Russia, has been working on alternatives for many years. However, Bulgaria, which is heavily dependent on Russia for gas needs to urgently look for alternatives. Okay, these disruptions in supply would fuel inflation and damage economic activity with a strong possibility of energy rationing and even a major recession in the continent industrial powerhouse Germany. Okay, so it could cause what? It could cause a major recession. So this is what it has, and as we know, EU has said that this is blackmailing. But tell me one thing. Maybe Russia is using it as a weapon in its arsenal, but you all have also used the financial sanctions as a weapon against Russia. So when you use economic sanctions or economic things, it becomes liberation, right? And if they use it, become annexation. What kind of dual standard is this? And let me remind you one thing, that both of them, nobody is for democracy, right? What USA has done in Afghanistan, right, and what Russia is doing in Ukraine are no different. In both the cases, the public has suffered without any reason. Okay, so don't do these things. Try to get this war and try to make this war end. Come on a table and discuss what possibilities are there at this moment. The world cannot afford a war at this point, and that too between Russia and Ukraine, because they are the producers of semiconductors, they are the producers of gold, they are the producers of wheat. Can you see this? The entire economic supply chain is disrupted due to this. So instead of making war a business for US prosperity, at least for humanity, stop this war, right? And the only way to stop this war is to come on a table and not to start criticizing anyone. Both the countries has its own legitimate security concerns, and it should be respected. It is not that Russia is responsible, it is not that Russia is not responsible, right? Okay, the demand for a revenue share in privatized airport. Let's see. Tamil Nadu government issued a policy note in which it has stated that the state government should be claim the compensation from the center in case of privatization of an airport or transfer of it added to third party. The state of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand has also demanded a share. Okay, the policy note added that the value of land at an appropriate stage should be converted into equity of state government in the airport. A special purpose vehicle or incorporate revenue sharing agreement should be arrived before airport is transferred. So what does the government say? Either give me equity or give me dividends, right? By sharing the revenue. So here it is. So today I don't think anything else is left. Yes. So it was a small read today. There was nothing much, right? So as usual, your homework. Tell me what examples you will use from this newspaper in your answers and in which paper, right? Okay, I don't find anything very relevant case study today, but still maybe you can find one and let me know, right? So with this I am ending today's newspaper analysis. I hope that you like it. Okay, so friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also keep studying hard, keep following your dreams, and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.